Hi everyone, this is Caitlin with Kait's Collectibles, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the School Life 2 Petit Chara set. So this is the fourth set released out of the main Petites line for the Sailor Moon figures, not counting the candy sets and the other ones that are kind of the little like glitter sets. Out of the four main different sets, this is number 4. So this is the newest one. It just arrived, so I thought I should get right at her and do a bit of a review for you here. So this one is similar to the school uniform set that came before with the inner soldiers, except now it includes Chibiusa and the outer soldiers. So the main box that these sets come in is similar in size and appearance to the others. As you can see, it's got the main characters with a few of the different A and B faces on the front. And one of the things I think they did quite nice on this box actually was this little banner section here with the different bow colors. I really liked that. That seemed to sort of highlight the school uniform that the outers wear. The rest of the box is very similar in size, shape, and appearance to the others. So on one end here we have a picture that shows the A and B versions of each character. Unlike the transformed versions of them, Saturn and Pluto, they were hard to differentiate their A and B versions. Now they clearly have both open eye and winking faces, so it's much easier to differentiate with this set than with this in the past. I also like the little logo they've done here with the symbols for the 4 outer soldiers, and the little infinity symbol here kind of highlighting the high school that they go to. Just a neat little nod. The sides of the box are similar to the others. They've got the perforation if they're being sold in stores, so they can just pop the top up. And it does point out, so this is the School Life Volume 2 set. The other side has the other 3 characters highlighted on it here. And the back with just the usual warnings, labels, logos, all that kind of stuff. So we'll set that back to the side. Now, this set came, much like the others, with the blind boxes inside. And this is where you'll find the official logo sticker on each box. So something to keep in mind if you're buying a blind box that hasn't been opened. It should have that sticker on it, more than likely. And same thing, a miniaturized version of the main picture. Between the different sides, you get the highlights of the A and B versions of each character. And then what I thought was cute on the back here was they point out the lucky bonus figure, which is Diana. I know when the Senshi set came out with the outers and Chibiusa, everyone was wondering why there was no inclusion of Diana, and they included her here, so that's really nice. So we'll take a look at the characters. We might as well start with Usagi front and center. Now this is the second version of her in a school uniform, and in a sense it's the third version of her because there was the set that came out with their school uniforms, but there was the limited edition version of it where they were in slightly different poses. Rei had the Shrine Maiden outfit instead of her school uniform on. So in a way, it's the third time they're doing a school uniform for her. But I think this one is really nice. It highlights kind of the character, her personality. I like the little stacked ice cream cone. One of the things I noticed with this set, though, was that the paint does seem to be a little bit sloppier with this set than in the past. If you zoom in really close here, you can see that on her neck, before I've talked about how crisp and clear the paint lines were, considering how small the figures are, I don't know if you can see that blue paint on her neck at all. So it's a little bit smudgy. And there's a few spots on these different figures where they have little flecks of paint or lines that aren't as crisp and clean as they should be. I'm sure with the popularity of the series, they've maybe decreased some of the quality aspects, but one of the things I like with these bases, they've got a very matte finish on them, and then they still have their symbol. But the way they've got it there is just like a slightly darker line. So as opposed to the very first set where it was really just the plastic outlining it, they're making it a little more prominent, which also makes it a lot more apparent as to how the base is supposed to sit. A lot of people were confused originally with how their bases should be sitting. Now you can see they've included this little sticker China marker that's been made there. So it makes it pretty obvious how the base is supposed to sit now. Otherwise, that would be upside down. Now, the Chibiusa figure is really cute. This is the first time we've gotten a version of her in a school uniform. Because this is following more of the S season, we see her in the outfit that she predominantly wears in that season. Back in R, when she first makes her appearance, her outfit is a bit different, and we never did get a version of her in that outfit, but this one's a little bit more like how she is for S. You can see her there. Again, a really cute little pose for her. I love the way they do her, sort of her shoes and socks. And the little pieces of hair that come right by her ears. They did a nice job with those little curls there. Now, Usagi's base is more of a red pink, and hers is more of a lavendery kind of a pink. I think it matches her hair color a little bit more. And her little heart symbol in the middle there. Now, another thing I found with this particular set versus some of the ones in the past is they were pretty easy to assemble. They've really improved upon the bases clicking in with these stands. So there's no more worry in terms of breaking those pieces. I'll pull forward the Diana figure here. So much like the original Luna and Artemis figures, she has a little crescent moon base that she stands in, which I think is really important for little figures like these. Otherwise, she would just fall over. I really wish that with the Luna P-Ball that they had included some kind of a base for it to sit in. I think they did a really cute job with her. I really like the little collar with the bell that she has, and it's very hard to see, but she has a teeny little pink nose right on the tip of her face there. So you can see that there. So really cute little figure. I'm glad that they included her in the line. I assumed that they would, but let's move on to Haruka. So she's got her version of the school uniform. She wears the boys' uniform at the school. And I got her with the winking face, or the B version, which I think is perfect for her personality. I had to go back and look at my original, like the transformed figures, because I wasn't sure off the top of my head whether I had gotten winking faces for them or not. I couldn't remember. And I had not, so it's nice to get some of the winking ones for a couple of them. They did do a couple of sets where it was either you got all winking faces or all open eyes, and I had gotten all open eyes, which was fine. That's what I'd prefer if I'm going to get all or nothing, but I like when they do a little bit of a mix. And there's her base, a nice deep blue with her symbol right there in the bow. And then we'll move on to Michiru. So I like that they did a very sort of feminine looking pose. I think the way her arms are really shows off kind of how her personality tends to be. And they included her headband on the figure. I find that these figures also go together really easily compared to some of the earlier ones. They've refined them a little bit, so they've gotten easier and easier. Now my lighting makes her hair and her base look quite blue, but in actuality it is very much an aqua color. You can see with the base a little bit more of that aqua, but it really has more of the teal tones to it than the blue, just the way this light is picking it up. But it is quite accurate looking to the way she should be. And let's move on to Setsuna. So I love the way they've done her with her cute little purple suit. Taking fashion cues from King Endymion, I think. You can see her earrings really nicely there. She's got very nice way they've done her hair here. It's too bad that the stand has to go kind of right through the middle of the back of it, but I'm not sure what else you'd do with it. And her base has sort of that brown-black tint to it. Almost a little bit of a charcoal. I think they don't go true black on it just because it would be so hard to see anything else. There's hers. And we'll save Hataru for last. Now you can see right on her face, this is one of those little paint flecks I'm talking about. So she came with this little tiny beauty mark right there on her face. Not a big deal, but it just figures that it would be on her. Well, we've got a nice look at her there. She wears her tights. I'm actually a little bit surprised that they didn't do a limited edition version of this set as well, just because they had such interesting outfits that they could have pulled from. It would have been very easy to do a version of her in her, black tights with sort of the black skirt dress top thing that she wore. Or do something where, Michiru has a violin, Haruka has her race car helmet, any number of things they could have done with it. And her base is a nice true purple, and you can see her symbol there as well. So if you're collecting the Sailor Moon Petites, definitely a set worth getting, especially because thus far anyway, this is the only version of the outers in their civilian uniforms, as well as Chibiusa for that matter. It's also worth it for getting the Diana figure if you're trying to, say, collect, a complete line of one or the other. The addition of yet another Usagi figure, unless you're, her biggest fan like I am, you may not want yet another one of her. With some of the upcoming lines that they're doing as well, with the 4 sisters that are coming out, I do have an order on that. They came out back in June, but because it was an exclusive and I bit the bullet and ordered through Crunchyroll, they're terrible, terrible, terrible for shipping things in a decent amount of time. I had originally gotten the Serenity Petite through them, which did work great, but we received no shipping information, no communication from them. It just kind of showed up one day. And so that's how I imagine the 4 sisters, the Ayakashi sisters set is going to be. But there's another Usagi figure that comes with them as well, where she's got the cutie moonrod, so sort of in her R transformed outfit. So once they've released that, there will end up being 3 or 4, depending on how you look at it, versions of her out already. There will be 2 to 3 civilian uniforms, and then the original petite, the super petite, and then I guess the R petite. So that actually ends up making 6 versions of her, 3 transformed, 3 not. So something to keep in mind if you're getting a little Usagi'd out is that there are a lot of her out there. 7 if you want to count the Serenity Petite, actually, although she's kind of her own thing. They did also announce that there will be an 8th version of her because they're doing a Sailor Stars set. So they've got her in her Eternal outfit, along with a Chibi Chibi figure and the Starlights coming out, which was very exciting. So there's, of course, a pre-order in for that, as well as the other half of the Black Moon clan, the Prince Diamond, Sapphire, Esmeralda, Rubius, and Black Lady. And that was another premium Bandai exclusive. So we've got orders in on those for when they eventually come out. But overall, they're doing a really nice job with the Petite set. And if you are thinking about collecting them, I still recommend them, especially this one for the Diana figure and for the outers. So if you're collecting the Petites, let me know in the comments below. Definitely let me know which one of them has been your favorite so far or what you're looking forward to the most. Thanks for watching.